This week, I thought I'd give you my take on a question that was prompted by the announcement that Turtle Rock Studios was stopping development of their game Evolve. That question is, when should a game be put to rest? When should a developer finally move on? Now, Evolve is a great tale of a game's rise and fall from greatness. Initially, the press lauded this 4v1 monster versus hunter game with awards and praise, including lots of awards at E3. I think it even won Best of Show, because it was a ton of fun to play when you were all together at a video game convention and you could talk to each other. But when it came out, Evolve never delivered. It had an insane DLC scheme with tons of monetization, and even though it sold 2.5 million copies, players found the concept was a lot more fun in theory than execution. That right there makes you wonder, what should a developer do in that scenario? What's their obligation to go and fix or improve a game, and when should they take their bad reviews, Twitter complaints, and just move on? Now, as a consumer who paid $60, what should you expect? How long should a developer toil away to try and fix a game or make it better? It's probably the same question that Hello Games is struggling with right now. They have your $60, maybe if you didn't get a refund on Steam, and now they have to balance the desire to fix the game with updates, with the appeal of moving on to start something new. At the same time, they've made tens of millions of dollars. How much of that should be rolled back into the game and its development? Now, there's no hard or fast rule here, but in the case of Turtle Rock, you have to admire they tried to fix things. They took the game free to play on PC as Evolve Stage 2, added new features, and tried to build up that player base. And it worked for a little while. Customers who paid $60 might have been a little upset at first that they were now giving away the game for free, but then they eventually realized that at least this meant the game would live on and be improved for a while. Eventually, though, the opportunity costs added up, and Evolve had to stop evolving. The team spent 5 years, and they needed a break. No one wants to see developers ship and cut bait. There's nothing worse than a developer disappearing after a game ships. And speaking of that, I know many of you feel that way about No Man's Sky and have been asking me on Twitter, when is Sean Murray coming on the show? I sent him an email to ask when he's open to coming on, since we're almost at the end of October, and I will let you know when I hear back. Now, in many ways, we as gamers are investors in games and ideas, and even early access games often ask for our money up front, with us knowing full well the vision may never be realized. It's no different than a Kickstarter. We buy into a dream. But where it gets dangerous is when we buy a game expecting one thing only to get something different. Now, nothing is more crushing to a developer than to have their game fail or not find an audience. But now, with patches, updates, and a continued commitment to development, a game has a second shot at greatness. And you have to admire that a game like Evolve tried something new. Even if it did ultimately fail, I'd rather see more Evolves than the same old shooters year after year. And I think you would too. But that's just my take. All right, well, thank you.